No, don't turn off. All right. I can't move that. It's got my bike on it. Turn some lights on. That one. That one. Can you stay down here? Oh, okay. I don't know because if we weren't, I was going to turn the music off. I mean, if you want, you can stay down there. I don't care. That's blinking. My little blinky down here isn't. I was trying to make sure the mic was on. Don't want that. Hopefully, and then just have it open. All right, let's go to me. I don't want that. Have the same in the. Oh, I want my dashboard. Now you can go. Oh, there we go. I wonder if either the. Thanks, Jimmy. It's better than the black, the black table that it actually is. You probably can't see that. So it's a black table. So when I was testing about a half an hour ago, that just it ate up way too much light. So I went up and found some towels, and here we are. For anyone here, let's see if I can get the whole chat box. I might want to. I can hear myself. I don't need to hear myself again. So this is my first live. So if you are a subscriber of mine, I don't have a whole lot, 670 or so about a year at YouTube, about 30 years total in eBay, and now I'm a full-time physical media reseller. And in this box right here is a $2,000 book set that's actually on my community post, which I'm gonna, as soon as I finish tinkering around with this, just for the opener, I'm gonna explain a little bit about these books. This live stream is basically me just putting away books that some of my subscribers thought would be a cool idea. All right. So I don't have PC, I don't have a webcam, so I'm trying to improvise what I can. So I have a tablet, about a 8-year-old tablet. My phone is a Stylus 2023. And I'm sorry, it's vertical. I couldn't figure out how to do the landscape. But if I can get the chat box to stay in a separate picture-in-picture down here, it'll make it easier because I use this tablet to find the boxes of where I'm going to put these books at. So I use my tablet to edit my eBay listing. And I just use a SKU. So I just go, let's just say if it's going to be box 33, I find whichever books is going to go, let's say this one goes in there. I just look at my current listings, find that book, and in the column where I have my SKU, I just type in B33 and now that book is put away. That's all this video is going to be about. But until the next 10 minutes, I'm going to be tinkering stuff around, but I can't even figure the part out that I do need to figure out, which is perfectly fine. Now, this does not want to picture-in-picture. Oh, no. To where, that's not what I want either. Let's see. Yeah, even my keyboard. You know, I have a lot of cool, somewhat little older computer-wise tech, but I just don't have. I don't even know if my PC is even, what was that, like a Ryzen 3700 or something? I don't know. About 5-6 years old. Buy it on eBay. Part's not working. You get it to wherever you get it, and then you open it up, and if you're savvy enough, you could just plug in the SATA cable, and now $1,000 PC works for the $200 you pay for it. And then you buy a $500-$700 video or graphics card for $150-$200, and if it lasts a couple years, cool. But if you've never used your graphics card, then that's a good deal, or that doesn't sound like a good deal. But if you use GPUs, graphics cards, and if you can get a decent end graphics card to last a couple years used, then you did pretty good. So I can't figure that out. Let me. No, I don't want to do that either. Huh. There's a way on how I can just minimize this entire screen. Because I had it up before. Let me try a different way, at least for what I'm trying to do. Oh, okay. Maybe that's not it. Let me go straight 2 different Chrome pages, separate them if I can. I want to have a whole separate a whole separate page to be over there. But it's not really cooperating. Sorry, not looking up that way. I could bring it closer. It's still not really. I still not from here. That's at least 6 feet away. At least. I mean, I'm 6'4", and it's pretty small. Squish your head. So what else could I do? I don't have a webcam to run the whole thing this way, and then I can read off of that. What would MacGyver do? Speaking of Stargate, if you know, you know. Bring this back up. And that's not what I want either. So this is actually the YouTube app. And I don't want that. So at 8 o'clock, a little bit after, I'm just going to start saying hi to whomever's here, probably more likely some of my subs, which YouTube channel wise, it's not a lot. To me, they all count. They all mean something to me. Live? No. Let's go to view my channel. Okay. Well, I guess if you know how many people are watching, it's going to depend if you're going to be determined as talking to yourself, and if no one's watching, then no one really knows. All right, so that allows me to bring that up. $7.53, the Elder Scrolls. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with Silence of the Lambs. Definitely. Rocket. Just let her eat. Where'd you get the shirt? Actually, wife got it. Since I'm thrifter by nature, hence my primary income. Grew up on thrift stores, so we went to once. I'm not going to get too crazy on that, but when some of the stores run their bigger sales, I will at least make a point to let her know. I go to stores all the time. I'll make a point to let her know to go out and find some shirts or pants. And I'm 6'4", so finding pants that are 34, 36 aren't necessarily the easiest to find. So she got this. I got it was either the Bazinga Arrow or Flash Arrow, whichever. I'm not really into comic books, but it's a graphic tee. And got like 3 or 4 other ones I haven't worn yet for videos, but got at a thrift store around here to answer that. The Elder Scrolls. Call me old, baby. Is that what you're referring to? That I'm an old person trying to scroll on my tablet? Which would make sense. I just don't have the right setup or gig to really do proper lives, but it's working. It's all that matters. But when I said Stargate, Rocket. So we have one of our kitties, Monkey. She's over there eating, and my snowshoe Siamese was creeping up behind her doing the crazy, I'm about to attack you cat pose, and they start bickering. And it's not like they don't have plenty of food, or food upstairs for that matter. No, but I referenced Stargate. So for anyone familiar or who likes the Stargate franchise, you might want to check out some news. So set me aside for however long and type in Stargate news. And you're welcome, because it's either you found out today or whenever. It's pretty much 8. So I don't know how active one count is to the other. I got a few here. That's fine. That's fine. Come here. No. Rocket keeps wanting to run. So now that it's 8, I'm pretty much going to, if any of my trained people, this one just sounds like a roller. It's just going to roll right on by. Sounds like it's on the back tracks at the heavy commercial. Not really heavy commercial, but if you do any sort of welding or big tools or anything, Lincoln Electric. Lincoln Electric is right around the corner, the headquarters. That's not the cause of the trains, but it's just that kind of type of light industrial or heavy commercial is back there. Then they have the residential tracks, which is closer, and that train that comes by blares its horn, and some of my viewers like. So I keep the horn in. That doesn't sound right. And is that one? I don't know where Movie Tavern is. Like my big, I call it Lake Erie because it holds a lot. Try to cover some bases here. Some ground rules. I don't think I have a whole lot of I did that again. People are going to use terms and slang and stuff that I don't know. So for probably about the first 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, first couple minutes, I'm going to start taking the books out of this box. If you're new to the channel, there is a short that I have that explains the sale that's in this box. So I'm not going to go too crazy explaining it right now. However, this is how the stuff is packaged up. And just for now, for this, since I'm doing this, I might as well explain on how I have and how I am going to box these $2,000 of books up. The primary of the video, so welcome, 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 welcome. I see you back there. Thanks. My cat down here. Thanks, Rocket. Man, got a few people in the house. I needed to put some books away because I listed books yesterday, and these ones were already right here stacked because I listed a couple weeks ago. And I listed these ones yesterday, and they needed to be also put away because I don't want to have 2 stacks like this of books that are right here and right here. Then if any of you have cats, well, we can surmise the rest. And even though I had this, well, at least a $200 book right here, this Neuromancer, this William Gibson Neuromancer, that's a first edition of the reprint, first print. So it's like 250, 300 bucks. Well, that's what I have listed for. What's going on right now, it's not a pitch you my channel, pitch you my stuff. The idea came up with, oh, I got these books to put away. I've made videos before of me just putting books away and explaining a little bit. Last one I made was a while ago. And I've become a little more comfortable with YouTube and such. So I could have made a video of me putting these books away, and that video could have been minimum. I'd have to start to edit is like an hour, and that hour, because you have to listen to it and then re-listen to some parts and cut and crop and so on and so forth. So that 1 hour video, not including the hour that it took, the hour to watch, the time frame in between, there goes Rocket, the time frame in between, and the posting and everything, for pretty much an hour recorded could hit upwards of 4 hours. Or I could just go live. So I tried going live yesterday, and YouTube said, hey man, you've never done this before. Back off and wait a day. So here we are today. So the point of the video is just me putting books away. And if I have any questions that come through the chat, which if I can keep an eye on one of these, then I can be a little more accurate on what I'm trying to achieve. The accuracy of it, however, isn't going to be too much. So it is an active video of me putting books away, and if I get questions, then I get questions. There were quite a few responses to my my post inquiries, I suppose. So I will wait. Oh, I got clocks all over the place. Wait at least another 5. Oh no, I got to talk about this. All right. So this is a different vape. This is my People vape. Pocket, you got. I really don't want to, not in my tenureship of social media and making videos and talking about all this. I really don't want to be a live caster all the time and do this and do that. There's options for in the future for different things, future far into next year at least. I might do random, just lives, maybe something specific topic by request that would be more planned and have a handful of people more interested in it. The shorts are going to be pretty limited to the higher end, rarer finds. The first short I did, I didn't realize the rotation, orientation, and this and that. So trial and error. I've been learned a little on how to do the lives and orientation, or not live, the short. So my second short, the one I posted today about these books, has done a little better than my first one. But I don't want to make a career out of social media videos and stuff. I mean, I would like a large enough following on at least one on YouTube, but if you're new to my channel or new to what I do, primarily what my channel is, I buy physical media stuff. I'm up here in Northeast Ohio, and I go the areas all the way. You're not gonna, unless you know, but I go from here to Avon, which is about an hour west, which is the west side of Cleveland. I go about 40 minutes east to Ashtabula, and upwards of, it can be, if I'm going straight south Akron, an hour. And I can hit all the different stores and all different little areas in between. If I consider all that, there's about 40 stores that I can get to on whenever I want. It doesn't matter. It's not like, well, some stores are only open on a couple days a week, but I can just figure that that's where I want to go. But I get enough inventory to sustain a decent enough living. As for sales wise, yeah, I'm a 100K plus a year seller. So what people will call a 6-figure seller. I don't want that. I don't, nothing along those lines. if you just stumbled upon my channel on one of my other videos, you'd be like, oh, and then if you started looking at each video on each of my what's sold videos, you could figure that out. Like, oh yeah, he's doing 300 plus a day, 7 days a week, 2,000 a week, 52, 100,000. See, you could do that. But the way on how I do my videos is I give a lot of years of experience and anecdotes and snippets and tidbits and so on and so forth in most of the time each video. So that kind of keeps you in there because you really don't know unless you like stalk my eBay page and you know exactly what I'm going to be talking about the next day. You really don't know on what sold item sold for what amount, and if I'm even going to talk about it, if that's one of the talking points of a video. So I want to say I leave you in suspense. You could just put me on in the background, and then when you hear me say, "Yep, that book sold for 110," then you can turn around, go back, rewind, listen, and right. So there's all that. There's not really a whole lot here right now to constitute this, but I will at least go through this book because this will be a published video. Right, so might as well talk about that. And if then eventually in 10 minutes, well, less than that now. I mean, it won't take me long. It'll take me probably about an hour to put these books away, with primarily without interruption. All right. So what we have here is the accomplishment of communication. Guns N' Roses, but failure. So I had, well, still do, these 3 books here. You're not going to see them too well. You can look at the different things on my channel. You can see them already, what I'm talking about this book, these books. So these are an 1841 print of the papers of James Madison, and James Madison, the 4th president of the United States. So these books were printed in 2 different years, 1940 and 1941. I have a 1941 version, the 1940, obviously, the more original of them. They are, somebody had 3 volume sets, $70 at one time. There's foxing on these pages, plenty of foxing on a lot of pages. I think the ad probably had like 20 photos. Volume 2, and the house where these are going is a $5 million house. Look at that short. So I'm going to guess this guy probably just has them because they're nice quality. It's going to add for another cool decoration. However, $2,000, right? Should be one more. Yep. All right. So this box holds, well, 6 by 4 by 4. I think these held boxes, shipping boxes. 6 by 4, 4. So plenty of those, right? And so there's 3 of these books, and I have plenty of these padded envelopes to ensure quite a bit more, ENSURE, that they have a degree of further protection. Each of these books will go in one of these. Tomorrow I will completely seal it. And here's the other one. There's the other one like this, right? And I do have more of these boxes, and these boxes hold my rolls of shipping labels. And that's why I keep these boxes, because of, there's multiple bigger books like this. I can go in, and all you do is just tear down these little corners, and you fold it over a little more, put a little additional padding around it, and now you've got the box. As long as it doesn't go over to the next pound rate, now you have a nice box. So try to keep the smaller boxes for things like that if you can. That's up to you if you sell. All right. So what I'll do is one box, and they're in there firm. Loose and firm, right? So since too many of these, it's not going to fit completely like this. So I could do, take this box, which now helps protect the sides quite a bit more. Now, however I exactly do this tomorrow, it's going to be a completely different story. Well, not completely different. It's going to be the same way. So now we have books and bags, and those bags in this box, and this box is going to go in this box, and I'll add some of this. I have more of this, and I'll add it on the bottom and around like that. However that all goes in there, that's just getting put right there. This will be finished up tomorrow. And that whole box, which I already pre-gauged what it would be to ship. It's going to be cheaper to send through pirate ship for 37 bucks. So, or 36 bucks, $33. So there's that. The fees on a $2,000 at 15.3%, $2,000 book sale, you can do the math, and I get 10% final value fee back, and I got dinged or promoted. So not really dinged, right? So it's still like 2% off of all that, which is 40 bucks, right? So it's not the greatest, but there's that. But these will be packaged up plenty. And then I'm paying for the insurance for the $2,000, and then it needs signature confirmation as well. I think the $2,000 is exactly where it needs signature confirmation on eBay. It used to be like 750 bucks. If your order was like 750, you had to send it out with signature confirmation. All right, so the first, let me go out of here. The first thing, the primary thing about this video, or about this live stream, is me and just putting books away. So how I do that, I have my tablet, and I have it on the web page, and I'm going to go to all filters, categories, and this is how I do it. It could be DVDs, it could be CDs. If I'm only putting away like 10 CDs and I just listed them, I don't have to really worry about doing this, because I just go to my most recently listed 10, and they're not going to have a SKU, so I know which ones they are, and I put them away. But when I've got like 40 books, and it's just easier, so when I have to change another page, it's not trying to bring up, oh, we have a little possum friend out here. And my guy right here, Bruce. Say hi, Bruce. You're supposed to, we have a possum out here. We got our kitty and the possum. And then our other kitties over there. And the possum's like, dude. All right, let's get back to this. All right, so nothing new has changed on that. Cool beans. Yeah, so my other cat, looks like Monkey, is trying to get the possum's attention, but these kitties aren't breaking through glass. So I'm over here, and I go down to books, and I can hit just like regular books. Yeah, regular book, and because I don't have any magazines, just in case. But I usually wouldn't do this. I would just pick all books. 38 audiobooks, which is not what I'm doing right here. But I have 38 listed, or at least in the audiobook category. All right, so I already have some that are in the SKU that are just relists that I've done
past couple of yesterday and the day before. That is a coffee table size book. The Art of Fushigi coffee table. All right, so the first one is going to be right here. Now that is me just saying the very first available blank one and one that doesn't need put away. This box has a little room in it. So however I want to continue to rearrange all these, I can. I don't have to. Or if I stick with the same principle, which I try to sometimes, moving stuff around that's a little older. Those ones are not. Good Maine food. That one fits in there just fine. Of course, it can be caught on that lip. So these are, I have some interesting books here actually. These are signed by Albert Krehor, who's a electromagnetic physicist from the Cleveland area. And you look him up and see what he's responsible for, you're like, oh, thanks, Albert. A lot of oscillations and piezo crystals and quartz and stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see, what I can fit right here, or shift this stuff down and see if I can fit another book like more right here. And what I have that's within the more recent. So this is Gary Kasparov. That's a little over $100 paperback. 122. I'll get 100 for it. All right, so it will fit in there. I go in here and I go B1, book 1 or book box 1. So that fits in there. I don't have a small enough. Any other book that would, I have plenty of room in the other boxes. I'm not worried about cramming everything in one, a couple in one box. So that goes up there. I know I can feel I have room. If I have room, I bring it down. At least look at it. Maybe rearrange a book. Game. That's not a high-end book. That's only like $15 book, maybe. But it's a title that sells, like this Flying Saucer. Okay, so I can go in there and kind of an angle. What if I angle it the other way? That'll get in the way. I get that to where the spiral isn't going to be digging into anything. Do that. Now, get that one like that. Maybe that one like that. All right, so now might be able to have. I don't want to go that far down. I want to stick with what I already have right here. It's not necessary, but instead of me scrolling all the way down trying to find one of these books that'll fit right there, any other book, as long as it'll fit right there, will do. I just need to make sure that the books that I have, when I'm putting away, I know where they're going. And this, so somebody ordered a replacement artwork in case for a CD, and now they're yelling at me, blasting at me. Anyway, that's not what this is about. Like, yeah, not what it's about. So, eBay categories. Go back to books now. Now I'm just going to click the one arm thing. come in here and find this here. Scroll down. And this is B2. B2. All right, so that one's put away. That one's going to be next, so that fits perfectly right there. Snuggy snug. And snuggy snug is going to be B2. B2. That's done. So that, no. Maybe see a different text in chat. Give me a second. So okay. No Brucey Boo. The next book I can put Visions there. No. That goes in before. Well, let's get that out of there. And find since that book is kind of a standalone color and I know exactly what it is, it's not really going to matter where in the box I put it at. I know when that one sells, I'm going to be looking in box B4 and it's that greenish color. I saw it down there. There it is. B4. This. You can also fit it right there. Be careful with this one, because that one's listed at $120 as well. It's a little book, smaller than most people's phones. The reason why it's listed that high is because the one I have is a much older year than all the other ones that have sold it and that are listed. Before. Okay. So 5 is fairly light. So if it's one of any of these in a while, they could probably go snug right there. Yep. And that one's going to be too big. This one might. Okay. So that is B5. And probably go like that. Put that one here too. And probably get one right in there. And that'll work. Still be a little loose, but it works. Let's put away. That is, yep. All right, B5. So I could get one more in there, but I don't think I have the proper, or not really proper or anything. Any other size books that I have wouldn't fit in here, no matter how we're to move stuff around. Plus, I have more boxes. All right. So no, yeah. Keep that like that. Keep that like that. And should be able to get this one. Tom Swift. Careful with those older books with those soft dust jackets. And I've done a lot of book relistings since that stack. So a lot of times, I just have to type in a keyword that I have in there. Go. B7. So do I have that maybe? Not that. As long as I know they're in this box, that's all that matters. These, I'm not going to be, I don't, no, so if I move this, like that maybe. I don't think that, not for me to get two in there. At least I might. Okay, that's cool. I mean, it's a little poofy, but those cookbooks should be going out pretty soon. I probably shouldn't have done that because I have to remember what they're called. Slovene. Slovene. That's not Slovene. That's Jolene. B7. With a lot of cookbooks. Thanksgiving's next week, so I might as well stop talking about cookbooks selling before Thanksgiving, right? So, but those Slavic, Slovene cookbooks like that will typically always sell. And the Slavic American Club, the headquarters is up here in Cleveland. So I get a lot of those, and most of those cookbooks like that are 25 low end all the way up to 60, 70, 80 bucks. And I find them of the frequent. Move some stuff around. You do the and you move some stuff around. Because that's what I'm all about. Since I have that, might as well put these ones here. That is or. So I have 3 of these ones, and each one a different year. B8. Or as the cool kids call it, bait. 8. Make sure these spirals, these metal spirals, are not hitting any books of great significance, especially dust jackets. And Bohemian. Bohemian. Okay. Bend that spine. Good healthy book. You can bend your spine with that. B8. Good, my boy, B. I could probably finagle one more there, but plenty of room. Got something different. No, just me. Just me watching myself. I can't really stay active on the chat, but nobody here to chat with, which is fine. Means I can concentrate on this more. Webbish. So if I do this and this, nope. That was a good idea while it lasted. I don't know how, when I went live, whenever I started testing all this at like 7:30, I came in and there was like 22 or 24 or 26 people that were here. And everyone was like, oh, I saw enough of them. That's all I need for my life. I'm done. Never come back. Okay, fine. Yeah, I don't want to dig too much in there like that. Well, at least that landed right there. Saved me that time. I could probably got another one in there, but that'd work. B12. All right, 13. 13 needs a little sticky love. All right, so let's see here. Neuromancer is an expensive book, so I'm going to go find an envelope. Should. You can get them in these here without getting any corners clipped. They'll just slide right in. And if you always push up, you know if you're going to be adding tension. If you push down, and if you're pushing too hard on the book, you don't know if you're clipping the dust jacket. If you're pushing up, if you get any bit of play, any bit of pushback on it, you know you're pushing it too hard. And did I do that one? So this is Gibson. Gibson is in. It's going into B13. $278 is what I got that listed for, and it has 22 views in maybe 2 weeks. It's definitely one of those more collectors than anything. That back, get that there. That adjusts correctly. Oh, that adjusts better. You know, I don't have any wide books like this, so do one of these. That. Okay, so we will type in shield. Actually, that one there. Now this one was listed today. Was it? Not today, yesterday. Not what I wanted you to do, but if anyone's watching who likes the trains, I think I see a different message in here. Oh yeah, and you. Oh no, let's see what the comes and goes. Really don't think it's super duper accurate. Apparently. And it's going to end when I'm done with, I think, only a couple of these books are coffee table, which won't go in here. B13. All right. Might fit that one more like that. Well, that's one that's, I don't think it even has a date stamp on that book. Now, I can get this one, maybe. If I do this and this, bet you I can. If I do this and this, that and that and that, get like that. All right. Wabbish! You wabbishly web it. Come on, how about if you find it when I hit go? Webbish, B13. So I don't have any other skinny enough books to put in that. That one. Put away. And I might be able to get one or two in here. I could definitely get the Wizard of Oz. So either delete it all, push more buttons, and type Wizard, or type Oz. I stuck with Wizard. It's just a cooler word. B14. All right. So, maybe no. And this one looks like no, no. I have a wide enough book. Yeah, that'll work. I'll take that. I'll take that. And combat. Then after the calling that I do after the end of the year sale, so in the beginning of January, I'll be doing a bunch of calling of a whole bunch of these books, probably 70, 80, 90 books that I've just, my own math, I describe that in different videos on what I do to decide on which books are just going to go. There's a lot of different factors I'm not going to get into right now in regards to that. I mean, it's not difficult. It's just, it takes a day, and it's a good way to do inventory management, especially on stuff that's more likely $15 or lower, and I've had for years. And if it hasn't sold for $15 or less in 2 years, I'm not going to wait around for that $2, $3, $5 profit. And probably because I'm not going to explain all that. Everyone has their methods. I'm not going to hold on to books that, I mean, this one will sell sometime, but there's a lot of them I'm like, nope. When that was in this box that I've had for a long time. A lot of them get enough interest and they'll constantly be taken down and repriced, but there's only so much repricing, and then 6 months later or a year later, go back and Terapeak and see the proper point to put the book at on what it has recently sold for through Terapeak within 6 months. So maybe my book was priced too high at the time when I'm finally taking it down. And then when I look, I'm like, all right, the prices mine could go a little lower, or I look, I'm like, all the other sales are more than my book. So why do I still have mine if all the other ones sold for more? There's little factors, but am I going to really take the book down and get new pictures on something that is only going to be a $12, $15 book? So there's all kinds of little decisions that go on when it comes down to doing what one needs for proper inventory management. And everybody does theirs different. All right. This should. No. That's what I was afraid of. I'm going to start running into these problems. Yeah. These problems. B15. Another fact is I really don't want to deal too much in. I'll buy stuff that could sell for 12, 13, 15 bucks if it has a really, really good chance of selling sooner. But it is what it is. Do that. That'll happen like that. Do that. No. None of those are much of any narrower. We don't want to put those like that. But it'll fit in this box. Ooh, that definitely smells older, that's for darn sure. And I don't remember think use the word German. In the title for something for it. Those are old 1920s, 1930s. German, Dutch calendar. Okay, I did. B15. This right here. That's probably what I had there. Just a tad too wide, actually. Put that there. And that's not really a high-end book. I at least get one more on the way. Man, it really caught me off guard with all those questions. Wasn't prepared. And this is going to be finishing up. I got a couple more. 2 of these are coffee table books, which go on a different shelf. So there's these, that, and that's it. Unity. And if I see any questions or anything like that in the chat, I will answer them before I close down. It's not truly necessary for me to do it like that, but it'll do the job. B16. And this one's a tad wider. Go back in there. This is the Norman shield. Norman. It goes down here. This really doesn't matter. A couple more that can be put away. This one put in here. Wayne. Oh, Wayne. B28. And I'm going to get at least that. Yes, it's birch, 33. Birch. B33. It's going to be 1965. Are you answering all the myriad of questions?
Oh yeah, there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially I think 3 of the comments were me, and my last one was, "It's like cooking. Spend all that time prepping." That's what it was. You had all the ingredients, spent all that time prepping, and then you realized none of the ingredients you were cooking with actually were there anymore. Or no, you spent so much time prepping the meal that everybody else went and ate somewhere else.
Looks like you.
Yep.
All right. That is. I put books away. If you see this video, whichever, whenever, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I buy physical media and I sell on eBay. And I had a bunch of books I had put away. That's what this video was about. And some other things in there. All right? Appreciate it. Thank you.
Probably way more interesting. There's